Metro Electric Line trains are dealing with delays this morning, all due to emergency track repairs. So right now we are watching trains delayed anywhere between 15 to 20 minutes. And now getting word on the Southwest Service Line, an inbound train that was due downtown at 6:15. That is currently stopped at 21st Street due to a bridge malfunction. These cold temperatures this morning definitely not helping, so that could be causing some issues. Outbound on the Dan Ryan, watching a crash past Canalport. That is taking out 2 left lanes. We're at 19 minutes from downtown to 95th Street, 20 on the trip back in. Stevenson hitting the brakes, approaching Damon into the Dan Ryan. That's traffic. I'm Amanda Sternecki on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Brisk and bitterly cold, but we'll have sunshine. High 15. Cloudy, quite cold. Low 13 overnight. It's 1 below at O'Hare, 5 below along the lakefront. Wind chills from 12 to 24 below across the area. Your next news update is at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560, The Answer, online at 560theanswer.com, on the AM 560 mobile app, on your Alexa-powered smart speaker, on TuneIn, iHeart, and radio.com. This is Chicago's Morning Answer.
It's kind of the month of February, builds you up to Valentine's Day. That's when they all have all the trinkets out and candy, shoving it down our throats that you have to be loved by somebody today.
On AM 560.
Okay. The only reason for this day is for me to take and not give. I want chocolate.
Chocolate! The Answer.
Oh, yeah.
All right, kid.
How you doing, Sean? Sean from Elmwood Park is here filling in
Just
for Dan, who's...
Valentine's Day. I didn't get anything.
Hey, I want to thank you for the sandwich.
Time, kid.
Appreciate it.
Happy Valentine's Day.
All right, we're back to my favorite subject. Coronavirus. I know. Well, yesterday they came out saying
much to talk about.
everything's okay here in Chicago. Relax. Here's the health department spokeswoman.
There remains no need for the general public to change their behavior in any way at this point. No need to wear masks in public. No need to cancel events. And certainly no need to avoid coming to Chinatown.
And Chinatown's hurting. Business is down almost 50%. No one's going to the restaurants. No one's going to the markets to buy your little trinkets.
We know that our Chinatown is very safe.
But I told you my back's going out, and I normally go to Chinatown to get my acupuncture.
So do a lot of my friends.
I'm not driving anywhere near that. And I'll admit, I'm going to stay on the safe side because you don't know if they've been or one of their loved ones have just returned from China. Now, somebody who
You're
has...
not right in the head.
I know I'm not. Someone who has just returned from... Well, not just returned, but came home from China. Ken Zurek, he's from Northwest Indiana. He decided to self-quarantine himself, he and his wife, and he joins us now on our Turnkey.pro answer line. Good morning, Ken. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
Good. So tell us...
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah, you too. We'll be sending things over
You too,
via
Ken.
drone.
Thanks for importing the coronavirus.
No. All right, so Ken, where were you in China, and what did you notice, and how did you know that you had to get out of that country?
We arrived in Chongqing, China, through Beijing on January 19th. Did not notice anything. We were escorted through the airport a different way than what we normally have been when we arrived in Chongqing, which was surprising. But, different things happen all the time. So we arrived the 19th. We did not find out anything about the virus until January 20th. And we were concerned. And luckily, we were staying with family, my granddaughter, the husband, and my wife's son and daughter. And we had masks, so we said, okay, let's be proactive. And every time we'd go outside, we'd wear a mask. Well, the 20th, there might have only been maybe out of a city of 30 million that we were in, there probably maybe less than 5% wearing masks outside. The 21st of January, that's when they closed Wuhan. And Wuhan is 500 miles from the city I was living in at the time. And there was a link there. To get to and from Wuhan, you had to travel through our airport in Chongqing. So there was a link there that people did come in contact with our area.
Right, with
had
people
the
from
infection.
Wuhan.
Now, what were you doing in
Right.
China? You just go there to show off your chest hair? What were you doing there?
We used to-
Funny. Actually, we just have a brand new granddaughter, 6-month-old granddaughter.
Congratulations. It's very
We wanted to visit her. We had several reasons to go there. First was to visiting the granddaughter and meeting her. Secondly was to spend time with the family for the new year. Thirdly was we thought we could travel into different cities or even go to South Vietnam for a few days because we're going to stay there till the 19th of
February.
February. And then
But didn't you know about the coronavirus? Because I knew about it before January 19th.
His granddaughter was
Absolutely
born.
not.
You didn't know anything about it, huh?
Did not know anything whatsoever. In fact, when we were in China, we had a lot of information given to us, or that I was able to obtain, and I read that it was first released to the media January 13th.
Okay.
Even though we know this virus was going on sooner than that. But that's the first time.
All right, so when did you
that
know
the
you had to
media
get
got
out of
hold it.
Dodge, and then how was it? How hard was it to get back to the States?
At first, that first week, it was kind of wait and see attitude. We didn't know. We assumed I assumed it was going to get worse than better. So the first week, my wife kept telling me that we should leave. It's going to get bad. And I said, we're in a safe zone. We stayed inside. We stayed with the family. We had plenty of food. When we had to go out, we went to the grocery stores. They had plenty of food. There was no such thing as a panic out there. Everybody was orderly. Everything was fine.
Well,
and again, we were in a safe zone. So the following week is when I started reading all these this information about how the American government's going to start stop
Shutting off
planes
flights
from
to and
China and stuff like that. So then we started calling, and then we realized that, hey, I can't get through the internet. I can't get through the telephone because everything's crashed because of the overwhelming response. So we weren't going anywhere. I knew we weren't going anywhere. So we contacted my sister here in the States and gave her all my information with the website, phone number, and she was able to get through the airlines. This was January 29th. It was.
So she
And
got
the
you.
airlines
Didn't you have
called
like
me.
a few hours to get out of Dodge? And they
Yeah,
said,
I had. Received a call at 10 o'clock in the morning, still in my pajamas, and the agent said, if you could get to the airport in 2 hours, we have the two last tickets to get out of Dodge for you. And boy, let me tell you, we really hurried up to pack and to get to the airport, and we made it in time.
All right, so 10 o'clock in the pajamas. I assume I'm talking to a Democrat, but here's the other thing.
we used.
I want
This is not political. Come on.
No. So I've
So when they
watched
came-
a lot of videos where the government is dragging people out of their house and taking them to be quarantined.
Yeah.
Did you see any of that?
I didn't see anything. I seen a lot of signage on the complex that we were living in other areas. It's stating that if you do have any symptoms, you should report yourself to the hospital. It had the symptoms listed. Now let me just add this, that this was during the right before the Lunar New Year's. All the Chinese businesses closed for 2
yep.
weeks.
2 weeks.
For
Yeah, no, every
family.
year. That's that. And sometimes people don't see their family at all during the year. That is the only time they can reconnect with family.
This
It's
is
a big deal. It is a huge deal.
Absolutely.
So they were
And
all
then
shut down anyway, and the markets, the Chinese markets were shut down. Like,
Right, and then the Chinese government imposed what they called a national emergency alert, where they actually requested that all these large restaurants and any areas that that people would meet in public be closed down, so there would be no spread of the infection. So they were kind of being proactive a little bit. Again, when I'm there, I very seldom see police, even though they're out there. I know that, and I very seldom see any kind of military. The only time you see a military is at the is at the airport. And the police are there, but they don't even carry guns.
Yeah. Well, so you get to the airport, you're on the plane, you finally make it, you get back to the States, and you decided to do something that is so remarkable to me. I mean, honestly, I read your story and I got a tear in my eye. Like, this is a great American. This is somebody who cares about other people. And you self-quarantined.
I did. I thought that was the right thing to do. I love where I live. I love my country, and I would certainly hate this. I experienced something that I hope no one else experiences, and I would hate to be the cause of that. It was just the right thing to do.
So what day are you on now?
Actually, yesterday was my 15th day. Today's my 16th day. I went out for the first time yesterday. This quarantine, this virus, as they say, lasts in your system, your body, for 14 days. So I decided to stay an extra 15 days. My wife and I never had or showed any kind of symptoms.
No fever.
We were very fortunate. Yeah, we were very fortunate. But again, we were proactive. We always had masks on when we went to the airport. We had. It's kind of funny that my wife was so paranoid that got me paranoid that we actually wore 2 masks at the airport, 2 masks inside the airplane, and 2 masks when we came back to Chicago. This was just so suddenly, we didn't have any transportation set up, so we just called an Uber, and we even wore a mask when 2 masks when we were in the Uber car.
So 16 days in the house with your wife. How many TVs in the house you got?
Hey, I've got a great wife. I'm very, very
I know. She's right
so.
there. You're still locked up. I get it. I'll cover for you. All right, good.
Hey, I'd be the first to tell you. But no, everything was great. We each had our own space. I can tell you that I finally got rid of all my spam emails. And, those suckers keep coming back all the time.
Yeah.
See that?
It never goes away. It's like a herpetic sore. You really
Make
can
the
never
most
shake
out
it.
of your quarantine will be the nice title of your book.
When you when are you fully going to come out, like go to the grocery store, or is it today? It's going to be the big day?
Yeah, today. Today's freedom. Let freedom ring today. Yes.
Okay. Oh, my God. And now what the totals today, because, it's changing all the time. 150 more people from China died overnight, 15,000 new cases. So the total, 1,450 dead, 75,000 cases of coronavirus. Do you trust the numbers that are coming out of China?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That was really kind of the. I really think that, unfortunately, the numbers are watered down. I think it's
like the Illinois State Department.
When the world claims it, the CDC or the other company claims it a world epidemic, that I believe. But we need to take precautions. The airports need to step up. This could really get out of hand quickly, and the government should be posting much more information. They should be educating people on the symptoms. They should be educating people what to do and how it's transmitted.
I know. And you know what, though? The thing is, you can transmit it without having the symptoms. And that's what scares me about this disease.
Yes.
Because I could have it and be giving it to other people and not even know that I have it myself.
That is true.
What more do you, because you know it's coming. I mean, these quarantine military bases that they have, my friend told me they're just doing that to buy time, because eventually it's going to spread across the world. And if you're weak, you're going to die. And if you're strong, maybe you can survive it. But I mean, it's so unsettling to me. And I really applaud you for what you and your wife have done. And you should receive some kind of accommodation, don't you think?
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy, some citation.
Congratulations. You've lived like you. I mean, come on. On quarantine, how many times do you do food delivery service? We got Amazon now. They're bringing the food to you in 2 hours. It's really not that bad, quarantine.
Again, I was very fortunate when my sister came in from California to come to stay at my house to watch my cat. So once I came back, she had a place to stay with my cat, so I wouldn't infect my cat. Because we didn't know what this virus was. Originally, this virus started in animals. This is the first time it's been human to human.
Yep.
And so she was a great sister, Pat Greswich, and she brought us food every week. And so we were stocked. We were happy. We were content. We were we were like in China, our little house with the safe zone. We were in a safe zone, and we were happy.
Yeah, but can you imagine if what happened in Wuhan happened in Chicago? People under quarantine, under house arrest, shutting down public transportation.
Finally get the crime rate down.
No, I don't. Well, yeah, I don't think that we could handle it. I don't think that we could do it.
No.
I honestly don't think we're as disciplined as well. We don't live in a communist country.
No,
but
we're not disciplined as they are. Again, you got to remember back in 2002, 2003, they had the SARS epidemic in China, so they've been through this routine before. So they're accustomed to do what they have to do to stay alive or to at least be keep themselves healthy. Again, there are people getting infections, and this does spread. So. But we need to educate the Americans saying, hey, watch out for this, wear a mask. In fact, a buddy of mine went to a store yesterday and asked for a mask, and they were completely sold out.
I have a bunch. I'm hoarding masks, and I'm stockpiling food in my basement.
That's great. I applaud people for getting masks right now because you just never know.
Yep. All right. And one last thing, because there's a couple in Chicago. She came from Wuhan, China. She was infected. She was in that hospital in Hoffman Estates. And her husband was caring for her. That was the first human-to-human contact outside of China. So that was a big deal. But instead of doing what Ken Zurek did, that guy drove to Cleveland to visit his 1-year-old grandson, knowing that his wife had the virus.
Yeah, take it on the road, baby.
Was being selfish. That kid got sick. Thank God he didn't have coronavirus. He had a fever, but it wasn't coronavirus. And was driving around. Thank God didn't use public transportation. But what you did was the valiant thing, and what he did was so selfish.
Okay, we get it. Ken Zurek's the man. It's Ken Zurek Day. You've taken over the day.
Thank you so much. And Ken,
thank you very much.
Enjoy your going outside and enjoying your life, and have a great Valentine's Day. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's what Chicago is talking about. It's Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560. The Answer.
The Lou Dobbs Financial Report is brought to you by Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Visit signaturebank.bank for your commercial banking needs.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Consumer prices flat in January. Home buyers facing more competition. And Southwest Airlines issuing another Boeing 737 MAX delay. Those stories next. In a recent survey, investors shared what they felt were the greatest threats to their retirement. It's no surprise the most common threats include stock market volatility, economic uncertainty, conflict in the Middle East, the 2020 presidential impeachment, and election. Unfortunately, there are many threats beyond your control that can affect your retirement savings. At Goldco, a leader in precious metals, the team believes one way to protect your investment portfolio is with physical gold and silver. Goldco has helped thousands of investors safeguard their retirement, especially in times of uncertainty. In fact, if